Hey, Ronnie here. In this video, I'm going to show you 10 ways you can use your maxtrax. So stay tuned. Subscribers, welcome back. First time viewers, g'day, I'm Ronnie from fourwheelingInWesternAustralia.com, the four-wheel drive and camping information website to help you get out there and enjoy the wilderness in the comfort of your own four-wheel drive. So before we get into the 10 ways to use your maxtrax or recovery boards, just bear in mind that some of the cheap knockoff ones you get off eBay, you won't be able to do some of the things that I'm about to show you or tell you about, because they will more than likely just snap. When you pay your top dollar for your maxtrax and your treads, you're paying for the other chemicals they put in the plastic to make them so robust and strong and flexible. So bear that in mind. If you've got those cheap knockoffs, they'll probably snap with some of the things I'm going to show you. 10 ways you can use your maxtrax. We'll start with the obvious two. The first one is sand. You already knew that. Number two is mud. You can use them in mud. Now some people don't realise this. I know that a lot of you do, because most people refer to them as sand recovery boards, when in actual fact you can use these boards in any situation. Number three, you can use them as a ramp, straight up a ramp. When you get to a certain obstacle and your approach angle is not sufficient enough, you can increase it by, putting maxtrax there. Or in this case you see here, at the end of it, it was like the wall was straight up, vertical, and it was bigger than 35-inch tyres. So the best way for us to avoid smashing our nose into the bank was to use the maxtrax. Number four, you can use them as a bridge. If you get to some ruts that are going across the opposite way, or just a big washout, you can put them across the washout and then just drive straight over them. Now you need to stack them probably 3 to 4 high, depending on the width of the hole and how much you're on the edges. The more you stack on top, the stronger they are and the less they'll flex. If you put one there, it'll just completely flex out and possibly pop out. And this is where you really need a decent set of maxtrax treads or something else. I'm not even sure if treads can actually handle that, but correct me if I'm wrong. Just don't try it and then come back to me about it. But I know maxtrax you can definitely do it with. Okay, this one is a pretty handy one to know if you're on the beach a lot. And if you're on the beach a lot, you've probably already got maxtrax. So number 5 is turning on a narrow beach. Now I've been in a few situations a couple of times, one which I actually put on video, you'll see right now. I was the lead vehicle. By the time I realised that the beach was getting narrow, it was too late. So what I did was I only had one set of maxtrax then, so 2 boards. And what I did was I used them to reverse up the bank as far as I could, up to the dune. And then I put them on the front tyres the same way that the tyres are turned. And we just repeated this process until I turned around and could eventually just drive out of there. So that's a handy one to know. Number 6 is hill traction aids. So if there's a hill that you just can't make it up, whether it's mud or sand, say there's some big divots or washouts or something coming across, throw those tracks down, throw them down where you start to lose momentum. And not only will it pick you up by an inch or two, you'll all of a sudden have all this grip and you will just keep going. So it's an excellent way to get up that hill that you just can't get up. Number 7, road and track building. So basically pretty similar to the ramp and the bridge, but this is more like you get to this rough section, there's this all uneven rocks and stuff around. You can use the maxtrax on top of that or your recovery boards. You can use them as a tool with packing rocks and timbers. So just keep that in mind as well. It's an excellent traction aid. Number 8 is winch traction assist. So it adds direction to when you're winching. So say you're winching someone who's on an angle on a sand sort of embankment or even mud, like a muddy hill, you're trying to get them up or get them straight. Throw those maxtrax under whichever wheels are sliding away. It's usually the rear, because the rear is usually heavier. So in our cases, as Torben's case here, when he was getting winched out of this bog hole, the 2 options we had, we were winching him back. We didn't have much room, so we had to use the maxtrax to get the direction right. Otherwise, he was just going to keep going into the swamp. Number 9, stacking them on top of each other, so 4 high, or even borrow your mates if they got the same traps. 6 high, drive up on top of that, and you have lifted the vehicle off the ground. So now you can get underneath it and work on whatever you need to work on. It's a pretty handy trick. I understand you can just, throw your wheel up on a rock or a log or something, but you might be at camp, you might have just gone to camp, you want to sort out whatever it is the problem is on your vehicle. If you want that extra space, throw the tracks under it, drive up on top of it, and there you go, you've got an extra 1 to 4 inches depending on how many tracks you use. Number 10. Now I hope you're not expecting something really cool to be number 10, but you can use your maxtrax or your recovery boards as a shovel, as an alternative to a normal shovel. Now, they don't really honestly work that well as a shovel, but if you don't have a shovel, it's the next best thing to use. I know that one's probably pretty obvious, but not everyone knows it, so there you go. Now, if you have any other ways, or more than what I've mentioned, ways of using maxtrax, please put them in the comments below. I'm really curious to know. You can subscribe right here. Thanks for watching. Take care in the tracks and trails and put those recovery boards to good use. Maxtrax treads, whatever you got. See ya.